Haven't had her perspective around here in too long. Do not like going months without speaking to her. You can watch new episodes of her podcast, Politics, live on her YouTube channel. Jemele Hill, she's also a contributing writer for The Atlantic. Any thoughts? Football Thanksgiving, Detroit Thanksgiving, as a person who has her allegiances to Detroit and the end of the Dan Campbell era here, because I don't believe we're all looking at the same team we were looking at last year. Welcome, Jemele, and what are your thoughts about Detroit playing on Thanksgiving and not totally being an afterthought and laughing stock, and really being host to the country before we get to the Super Bowl, before the games that have the real giant entertainment value?
Well, it is a welcome change. And certainly my husband is very happy being a diehard Lions fan his whole life. But one thing about this team is like it's matching, and a lot of people probably aren't aware of the tremendous momentum that's happening in Detroit just as a city overall. I mean, Detroit just elected its first female mayor, its first Black female mayor to be specific. Um, and just a lot of great things are happening in the city. They're getting a new five-star hotel. I mean, everything that I'm seeing happening in the city and the neighborhoods is it's great that it's happening in conjunction with the team that has probably caused the most misery for everyone in the state is also doing well. And I've said this repeatedly for people who have, just kind of a passing interest in Detroit is like, yeah, I know we're known for Hockey Town. Yes, we know the Pistons have won in championships. The Red Wings certainly had a very dominant run that everybody witnessed, but the Lions are the team of the state. And if they were to ever go to a Super Bowl, it would by far be the biggest story in Detroit sports history, maybe the biggest story in Michigan history, period. So to have all these wonderful things happening at once and for the Lions to actually be treated with respect on Thanksgiving, what can I say? It's just like, Mama, we made it moment for the entire
Well,
city.
can you tell me, because I have not been back to Detroit since they started what was a sports-inspired revitalization of downtown that began with the baseball team, right? It wasn't even like what you're talking about when you say Detroit feels like it's back. Detroit's been pushed around for a long time.
Yeah, it has. Listen, Detroit was a laughing stock, especially when we were going through the recession in sort of the early 2000s. And people naturally made note of the fact that you could, at that point, buy a home in Detroit for $1,000. They were listing homes in Detroit on Craigslist. Like that's how bad it was. Detroit was in bankruptcy. Financially, it just wasn't a whole lot of investment happening there. And it had been a long-standing sort of problem that Detroit only being recognized nationally about our crime rate and about things that were not very positive. And so, like, people see the movie RoboCop, the original RoboCop. I think they may have remade it or whatever, but they see RoboCop and they think that's Detroit. I mean, I don't even think RoboCop was actually filmed in Detroit, but it's based in Detroit. The story is, but that's how people came to think of Detroit as just this barren, crime-ridden hellscape that didn't deserve anything. And so it is with a lot of pride that I see Detroit being embraced now and people understanding that what's happening there is not a fluke. We have been through some stops and starts before. Listen, Detroit has a Gucci store downtown. I never thought I would see that. All right. When I was growing up, there were no major department stores in downtown Detroit. And now there's a Gucci store and an Apple store and a Fenty store. And so while some of this also signals a gentrification that can create and cause some uncomfortable questions, I think I'm generally more positive about seeing it because I do see that growth spreading out to other parts of the city because that's where you want to see it. You want to see the neighborhoods come up if there's a revitalization downtown. But downtown is cracking. Detroit is the place to
But
be.
did it start with sports?
Um, no, not really. I mean, I think there was a lot of investment things that were happening downtown. But to your point, it's like the Tigers being good, like when your baseball team is good, that is a different type of renaissance that the city will see because you have more opportunities to be in that area. You're talking about 160, two-game schedule. You got 80 home games. So that's 80 opportunities for people to be downtown as opposed to, say, the Lions who are playing 8 or 9 home games and then that's it. Or even the Pistons who are playing 40-something games. And that renaissance, that turnaround only happened in the last 2 years. But I think really what started all of it was just people understanding the business opportunity. Detroit has a beautiful riverfront that borders Canada. Like we can get to Canada in 10 minutes. And so that property has always been bought up. But it started with the investment from Dan Gilbert, from Mike Ilitch, from a lot of really big business leaders that are in the Detroit community. And it spun into what we see now. And now that the sports teams are good, it's like it's all kind of clicking together finally at the same time.
How does Detroit care about the Pistons right now compared to the Lions?
I mean, listen, people are obsessed with the Pistons, but I mean, the Lions are kind of the number one team in town. I mean, because again, that's a team the whole state loves, right? Is the Lions. And I think because the futility has been so much longer with the Lions, that them being good is always going to be the number one story. The Pistons is an incredible story, especially seeing where the Pistons were just 3 years ago and to see where they are now. The city has certainly embraced Cade Cunningham hard, this whole team. The franchise, it still feels like they're a player away, but the way that they're playing now, I mean, I think they still, at this point, may still have the second best record in the East in the league.
They're not a player away in this East. They're not a player.
No, not in this East. You're right. You're right. Not in this East are they a player away. But when you just start thinking about, like, can they win a world championship? I think they're a player away from that. But nevertheless, like, to your point, this is the best sports feeling I've ever seen Detroit have that's so sustained, right? It's like the Pistons are good, the Lions are good. I know the Red Wings are kind of in and out there, but to have those two teams, the two most popular probably sports in the state, be good at the same time.
And Tigers, and all of them young.
And the Tigers, yes, like the Tigers being good this year. Like it is, this is a level of positivity around Detroit sports I haven't seen in a really long time.
What are we to do with the Shedeur Sanders start? No Cleveland Browns first-time starting quarterback had won a game since 1995. 17 straight starts that a first-time quarterback had made a start without winning before Shedeur Sanders. What did you do with that result?
Okay, so one, I said last week on my YouTube show that you mentioned, Politics Live, I was like, Shedeur Sanders has the opportunity to do the funniest thing in the world, but also to do something that's very common and known to Browns fans, which is to make the Browns look stupid. And I think he kind of did that in the sense of, we know about how he hasn't been developed under Kevin Stefanski. And, Dan, the Shedeur Sanders, as you know, there's always an athlete or a couple of athletes in sports that generate a level of polarization that sometimes is baffling to understand. He is in that space of, like, every time I talk about him, I have to think very carefully about what I'm saying, because if I don't praise him enough, then I'm a race traitor. If I praise him too much, then I'm a bunch of other racist names as well. So it's like, it's this weird spot that he's in. And me even saying that, like, yeah, he got treated like a 5th round pick. People were mad about that. Like I was saying something that, that some people labeled me a sellout for saying that. I was like, no, he got treated that way. Like, I don't think Kevin Stefanski, and again, people hate it when I said this, like, I don't think he's trying to sabotage him.
Well, wait, Jemele, what's happening here? Are you telling me that he's supposed to be such a symbol for black excellence as the son of Deion Sanders, and as they came up through a program that, like, was a thicket of racism, what it is that they were doing that last year in Colorado? You think that he's so embraced by black people that to criticize him as a black person is something you have to be careful about?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, Shedeur Sanders is the black community's nephew. Like, everybody has adopted him, okay? And so you have to be really careful about what you say, because just in what I consider to be just mild critiques, Dan, is like, I have been labeled a sellout and being anti-black, and I'm disappointed you. I done got all the speeches. I'm like, because I said it's not, I don't believe that there's some league-wide conspiracy to keep this kid down. If anything, he makes the NFL money. I mean, I can't think of a 5th round pick whose jersey sales go off like his. Like, there's a lot of reasons why the NFL would want Shedeur Sanders in the league. And because there are a lot of people who have seen, listen, I get why people are willing to believe in the conspiracy theory based on what we've seen before. We saw Colin Kaepernick get blackballed. The story came out about Lamar Jackson and about how other teams were trying to sabotage his negotiations. So I'm not saying NFL conspiracies don't happen and aren't true. I just didn't see it with this particular player. And whenever I bring that up, I get, well, they just don't want to see a confident black man and they hate his father and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, I need y'all to get a little more emotionally uninvested in this. But there's no question, because of his father and how much he is beloved, just period, by football fans. And for a lot of Black people, they look at Deion, they look at the relationship that he has with his sons, and they feel like this is such a positive example of Black fatherhood, that they feel very, understandably, a lot of our community feels very protective over Deion and Shedeur Sanders. So yes, I do have to watch what I say, and I have to make sure I'm being thoughtful and careful, because a lot of my people are very emotionally invested in his success.
You can't just say it was the Raiders.
You said that, I didn't.
Okay, so it can't just be the
I'm gonna put that on you.
Okay, it's funny though. I don't see you afraid of anything though. Like the part that I understand. I guess I can't possibly understand, but from where I am, I can understand a little bit how you find this one volatile. But it's silly.
I can't believe she said it. She said it. Had a feeling this was going on. And Jemele just said it's going on.
But Jemele is fact-based, so when she comes over
I knew this was a thing. I knew that's what was happening. That now that just Josina tweets make all the sense in the world. Jemele copped to it. Don't forget what happened here today.
I can't believe that Jemele.
It is a conspiracy.
This is the hardest.
Jemele just said it.
That the Kaepernick thing is so stupid that of course it could morph into, and they would do this to Shedeur too, because
we got to find a better quarterback to do this for. I'm just saying. We can't be going down with Shedeur.
It's like, listen though, I want people to understand this is. I thought Shedeur would get his opportunity because it's Cleveland. They haven't developed a quarterback, like literally never. Okay, we know what they have done at that position, and it's ugly, it's brutal, right? The fact that he was able to already have that historic marker of being the first Browns quarterback since I was leaving high school to actually win their debut start. I mean, this is who the Browns have always been, and I think that there has been so many racial conversations about Shedeur Sanders without them being explicitly racial. And yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm afraid to say my honest opinion of Shedeur Sanders. I believe I'm given that. What I am saying is that I'm more careful with my words, because I realize for a lot of Black people are projecting things onto this situation that are not even part of the conversation. And so I'm able to say oh, y'all too emotionally invested. I'm gonna let y'all have this one. Y'all too emotionally.
That's why I always defended Andy Dalton.
Let's move on to a pop culture subject that I wanted to ask you about. The idea that Trump would be soliciting Larry Ellison to bring back Rush Hour, the 90s comedy Rush Hour. It's 90s, right? Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Is that that's not late 80s? That's 90s, correct?
No, it's 90s. Did you say late 80s?
Yeah, well, okay, forgiveness. 30 years ago, not 40 years ago. What are your thoughts here on Trump trying to revitalize this franchise? Is he using the Paramount Plus? Is he using the license to try and revitalize it?
It was 98, closer to 20 years ago, and then 30 or certainly 40.
Okay. I mean, I didn't realize that there was – it's so odd that this would be the fight that he sort of chooses. And apparently from the article that I read is that apparently he's been offering his creative thoughts on a lot of different film projects and things he wants to bring back. Like Bloodsport was one he mentioned, he wants to bring back those type of movies, and he thinks that they should do that. And to be honest, Dan, normally this would be something that I would use to clown the president about. But honestly, I'd rather him sort of govern over film than govern over the other things he's governing on. So fine, be busy with that. Maybe you will make it less hell on the rest of us in every other area if you get your new Rush Hour. If Rush Hour 4 is what it takes to get this man off our neck in other ways, let's do it. Let's bring back an old-ass Jackie Chan. Chris Tucker, let's run it back one more time to make
How
the
old is
president happy.
Jackie Chan? Because it's old-ass Chris Tucker, too, even though she wouldn't do that to Chris
60.
Tucker. But no, Jackie Chan's got to be older.
He's not as old
60,
as Jackie Chan, though.
Older than 71-year-old Jackie Chan.
Really? 71?
Looks
he
good,
could pull
though.
it off, Dan.
He
could pull it off.
He could pull it off.
Yeah, he came back for Karate Kid Legends, right? Wasn't Jackie Chan in that?
Nobody watched that movie. What are you talking about?
Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. I feel like he's still got a few more stunts in him. So bring back Rush
Put
Hour
it on the
4.
poll
Let's
here
do it.
at Le Batard Show. Does Jackie Chan at 71 still have a few more stunts in him?
I never seen Rush Hour.
Oh my God.
Tom Cruise is 60 and he's still like hanging on the side of airplanes. Why can't Jackie Chan do this?
I think that we retired Liam Neeson last week because he's 73, and Odenkirk is now doing action films. That's fine. We'll allow it. I didn't feel very good the other day. It's actually stuck with me for about 10 days. I'm not even kidding. I can be hard on myself about these things. I did not like the way me and our show talked about the Stephen A. Smith, Michelle Beadle, Carrie Champion, and I'm going to say you, but I really don't remember Stephen A. Smith ever going after you and Carrie Champion. I do know that he gets critiqued for never having anything for Michelle Beadle and then coming after with some more intensity black people. I know it's a critique that he gets a lot. I know it's a critique you get a lot, that whenever you're talking about ESPN things or anything that's just critical analysis, hater, bitter, whatever, it's the same thing that I get. But how did you get ensnared in that? Because from what I've ever seen publicly between you and Stephen A. Smith, he respects your journalist credentials too much to ever have anything bad to say about you.
Well, I mean, I got ensnared in it. And I'm not saying this to call her out, but just to give people the origin story of this is because Carrie brought my name up when she did the video addressing the fact that Stephen A. has never responded to Michelle Beadle with the same level of harshness that he has responded to some other black folks, some of which were just offering a critique of him. Obviously, a lot of people pointed to what he had to say about Jasmine Crockett, which I also was disappointed in, like a lot of other people. And so the base of her criticism was really about that, about the unevenness of she felt like his critique between what he said about Serena Williams, what he said about Michelle Obama, Jasmine Crockett. People are sensing a theme. And I definitely understand what that's like. Hell, we just had a little conversation about Shedeur Sanders and how I realized I got to be careful how I talk about him because of how possessive and protective that a lot of people in our community feel about him. And so when you're Stephen A. or me or anybody that's in the sports media space, it's like the majority of athletes we talk about are going to be black. We're going to say more positive things about black athletes than we do negative. But it's the negative ones that tend to sting a little more. And so with that said, I mean, I thought what Carrie said was a fair critique. And she brought me into it by talking about how Stephen A. has come for us. And really and I don't want to speak for her, even though that's one of my closest friends. But I think what she was talking about was some of the things more she experienced behind the scenes on First Take. And where she felt like there was a lot of times that Stephen A. was not as supportive as he said. And as her friend and being there at ESPN when she was on the show, that's how our friendship blossomed. And seeing what she went through on a daily basis, being between Skip and Stephen A., not just on TV, but behind the scenes, like literally having to navigate both of their very big personalities, it was tough. And she was very much, there was a lot of professional experiences that she had that were not great. And so I think she was more or less speaking to that. Now, Stephen A. and I have gotten into it a little bit back and forth on social media. He's had some opinions of Colin Kaepernick that I thought were thoughtless and a little inaccurate. And I made that publicly known. It was about addressing his opinion. He had his thing or so to say about me. He suggested that next time I call him or that I do call him if I have a critique. I did call him after we had that exchange on social media. And he's a busy man. He didn't answer. I texted him, never heard back from him. It's fine. I don't expect, Stephen A. doesn't owe me an answer, but since he brought up the fact that I should call him, I actually did it and he didn't respond. I think a lot of people think that I have some negative opinion of Stephen A. I don't. I think he's done remarkable. He's had a remarkable professional career. And I think him as a black man being the face of ESPN, that is really encouraging for younger black journalists who are aspiring to be in these positions of authority and ownership. And he's been able to give them an example of like what's possible. And he's opened up, a lot of doors for people. But the part that sometimes made me cringe about him is that, especially not only sensing the uneven critiques that we talked about from a racial standpoint, but also it just felt like sometimes when he's discussing women, especially black women, he gets very he puts it's a lot of cap going on in terms of how he built our careers. Like I've heard him refer to building my career before, and I just think that was weird of him to say that. Certainly I was able to be on the show, quite frankly, which I've greatly appreciated it. But when I was on, quite frankly, I was already talking to ESPN about being at ESPN. And so he's just taken this weird ownership of my career that, just makes me cringe a little bit. And he's done it with Monica McNutt, and he's done it with Carrie as he did it. And it's like, why you putting 100 on 10? It's like, okay, you don't need to do that. And so I think it's kind of unbecoming. But I have no animosity towards Stephen A. I don't have any beef with Stephen A. But I hope that he's able to accept some of the critiques that people have of him, because I think some of them are fair.
Spolitics is the name of her podcast. You can catch it on her YouTube channel. We, of course, at Meadowlark Media discovered Jemele Hill. She would not have had a success without Meadowlark
Would have never made
Media.
it here, Dan.
Thank you for being on with us, and thank you for allowing us to discover you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Deep fry my turkeys. It's done with the same oil over the last 5 years, so it's full of seasoning. It has the perfect seasoning, perfect everything with it, and it's a 72-hour process. Okay, where it goes into a brine that's homemade, then it sits in that brine for about 2 days, and then I take him out. Then I inject him, with a homemade injectable marinade, and then it sits for another 24 hours, wrapped in the refrigerator, and all the marinade is getting into the joints, the juices, and it's really getting into the breast and the thigh and so forth, and then I take it out that morning on Thanksgiving and I dip it in the hot oil, and then it's delicious, and it's going just like that. I can cut it with a plastic butter knife. It's so tender. So I've been doing that for the last almost 20 years.
Yeah, that's pornographic. And I don't think that Chris Cody just realizes how terrible his judgment has to be for me not to know when that clip is going to end. And Chris Cody's last words to me, so that I don't hear the ending of it, are him just saying to me privately, "I'm hard right now."
That was uncalled for.
Well, it just seems like bad judgment.
It seemed pretty called for.
And also understandable. And I think after having heard that, all of our mouths are watering. And I do want to say, at a time of great gratitude, because Thanksgiving is that for me every year. My parents, their favorite holiday was 120 people over at the house for Thanksgiving, because it's specifically such a time of gratitude. I want to tell all of you who work with us here at Meadowlark over the last 5 years of great difficulties and great success, because we're on the other side of it. Numbers are great. We are growing in a way that is hard to believe, honestly, in the modern streaming media, because people believe in this thing. So I wanted to thank the listeners for supporting us the way they do. Oh, you want to do this centrally? You want to give me some central music for my gratitude?
I just like this line.
And I dip it.
So
Glad you broke that up.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Good timing by you. You're really killing it today in a number of different ways. You've mailed it in just like
been a bad day.
and Jessica.
It's been a bad day for you.
But I did want
Bad
to
minute.
thank both the audience and you guys at this time of year, because the workload around here has been crazy and there's been a lot of change, and the show's in a good place. It's in a wildly successful place, and so I'm really happy that we've endured the last 5 years together to get to this point, and I'm grateful for it. And I bring all of this up as I bring up my father, because my father tricked me. I'm not even going to say tricked me. Just for an 82-year-old man, he's still sharp funny. And the other day I accused him of ignoring my texts. And he looks at me, because I'm like, "Dad, what are you doing? Like, you're in retirement, you're not doing anything." He's like, "I'm not ignoring them. I'm just not answering them."
That's a bar.
I get them, but he let the "I'm not ignoring them" stay. And I'm like I didn't understand what he was saying. Like, he's not replying to me. And he's like, "No, I've seen them. I'm just not answering you."
Yeah. I had this very same conversation with my dad. She was on the other foot, though.
Right. You were mean to your father.
A little bit. I mean, but, he means well. I took him to High Lie. on Friday.
Well, I wanted to say to you guys in an
Dude,
area
he
of
did-
gratitude as it relates to the Cyclones, I'm proud of the way that you guys have owned that team, keeping something alive in South Florida that is meaningful that isn't in a lot of other places in the country. The Cyclones being in first place and you guys caring about ownership of that team, you've shown great pride in owning that team.
We do, and we're very proud of this team. We got 2 more weeks until the playoffs, and hopefully this regular season is predictive to how that goes for us. But I want to talk to you about spending time with my dad at the Fronton. We met at the brand new prefab construction Outback that was built in about 2 days right across the street. And my dad had one of the more psychotic orders ever. And he left me with this order. He got up to go to the bathroom. Have you ever been with someone that did this? He asked for the 8-ounce filet. Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
I had to assume what the temperature was, but I did a good job with that. But he was like, son, this is very important. I want 2 sides. I want a sweet potato. Gotcha. And then I want a baked potato. I want the baked potato, no salt. And again, all the fixins, all of them on the side. He went sweet potato.
No salt is crazy.
He went sweet potato, baked potato as the sides. I'd never seen that before. Before I decide whether or not this is weird, because it felt weird, and like the waiter looked at me like strangely, and I had to make this order for him. I'm like, my dad's weird. Have you ever seen anybody do that?
I have not, but double carbs is aggressive and no vegetable is aggressive. But Zaslow, do you think Zaslow's way of eating Thanksgiving is weird? Because Zaz, I think, thinks it's weird, and I'm not sure how weird it is. Zaz is very compartment about how he eats his Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
Nothing is to mix with anything else except for the gravy. Everything else stays apart, and he eats them in little compartments.
Well, the gravy has to mix with something, otherwise it's soup. Like, I'm not having gravy.
I'll
by
admit
itself.
something I've done. I think at Outback specifically, I don't know if we named names before. I've done baked potato. Love baked potato with my steak. But then I'm also going mac and cheese. Yeah. So those are 2 carbs.
Normal. That's a play on.
Yeah, that's
Absolute
just
play
a
on.
Play on.
fat
Game.
guy order.
That's a great job. That is indeed the Outback that was built in 2 days. It was astonishing.
But for Thanksgiving, I don't mix any of the foods. I don't put them on top of each other.
So you got 17 plates
They're
around
all
you?
You don't like a
separate.
spoon with a little potato
How
and a
many
little
plates you got?
corn? a little-
And I don't dip like in both. I don't do like here's some stuffing.
Oh!
and
You're
some
not
turkey
living.
on the
You
same
are
You
not
don't do
living.
cranberry?
fork. Oh, I don't eat cranberry.
What?
I don't eat cranberry
All right,
sauce.
so I'm a late convert. I used to avoid this. Like, why would I want this fruit paste? I gotta tell
No.
you, it does a little sweetness
no,
at the very
I've never
end.
even had it
tartness, too.
before, but I know I don't like it.
You can't do that. You
Are
do
you
this
4?
with dodgeball. You're closed-minded this way.
I used to be the same way. I used to be so. What is this? It's
I don't
so
like it.
gelatinous. You open up the can and it just like plops
Yeah.
right out
No, I don't need that.
like a used condom. I hate that.
I know what I like. I know what I like, and I don't like that.
How many plates do you have during Thanksgiving? I need to know because you're sitting there basically with 8 different plates around
No,
you.
I got one big plate.
Nah, you
Or
don't have one big
you
plate.
just have corn, like a bite with just corn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mix.
That's right. Use condom. Happy Thanksgiving.
Don't do that. Okay, you've got 5 sounds there I want to hear, and one of them was not me looking into the 49ers suites and seeing that Fred Warner and Joey Bosa are hurt, but they're still
Nick Bosa's fine.
8-4. Sorry, yes, Joey Bosa's a Bill now. My fault.
You called him Billy Bosa.
Did I call him Billy
No,
Bosa?
you called him Joey Bosa
All
twice.
right, all right, cool. I thought
Again,
I heard Billy
digress.
Bosa, which actually makes sense and a good way to distinguish who is who.
You know
Billy
what?
Bosa, he is from now
Thank
on.
you, guys. I've done this. I called Brandon Cook. The old guy things that happen to me are that I take the whole Bosa family. Their father was a bust with their Dolphins. 2 brothers are in the NFL sacking people. I didn't even get this week to a great moment from last week, which was J.J. Watt watching his brother break his sack record and saying with a strip sack, he's like, well, I guess if you're going to break my record, that's the way to do it. Strip sack, touchdown, T.J. Watt. Like J.J. Watt calling that, 2 brothers being able to be at the height of that sport, and T.J. Watt somehow being better at sacks than J.J. Watt.
The 2 brothers are the best we've ever seen at strip sacking the quarterback and taking it to the house. Yeah. It's crazy. And they weren't even like highly touted prospects. This family just birthed the 2 greatest to ever do
Their
that.
father was a bust with the Dolphins. The 2 of them, I confused them.
The Bosas.
The Bosas are great,
Yes.
and the Watts are even better. So, how many different sounds of mine do you have back there to make fun of me so that we could just spill all of this for Thanksgiving?
Remember when you said Danny Amendola or whatever you
Damian
said earlier?
Amendola, the famous local legend Damian Amendola.
DA.
Damian Amendola. Mike Inglis, a South Florida legend.
Yes.
Greg Cody, a South Florida legend.
Yes.
That didn't even hurt you to say. Dave Van Horn, a South Florida legend.
No.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Montreal legend.
Whoa.
Montreal.
Hello.
Dave Van Horn is not a legend?
He's a
Montreal legend.
Steve White.
No. He owes me money.
He owes you money?
You too?
Of course.
How much money does he owe you?
I mean, enough that I went to the bank with a check to cash it, and they told me there's no money in that account.
Hello.
Embarrassing.
Suck a move.
Radio in the 90s, baby.
So yeah, mid 2000s.
Boss writes you a personal check.
So did we.
No money in the account.
That was my favorite sound of the week right there. Mike being totally reasonable. This is about somebody else.
Level-headed.
Listen, just so that you have the context for this, this is Mike Shrill and how much worse it's going to get over the last month. This right here is Mike very reasonably saying of Notre Dame's record, well, they were just starting. There was a new coordinator. They had a new coordinator.
So did we.
Just wildly defensive.
So did we. I've been very level-headed today. So did we. I have not caped up for Miami. Again, I just focused with Chuckle on the broadcast. So did we. I did not once today. I made it my mission. I am not going to lobby for Miami as it pertains to the CFP rankings. Have you heard a single complaint about the obvious? No, you have not. So did we. I will not do that on this show because I had a new bold strategy, Dan. I was going to let Jeremy talk. And the results are incredible. I think I've won the audience over by just him speaking.
Jeremy disagrees with just about everything you've said and has eaten it for 2 days.
But I found the one guy that is somehow more unlikable delivering college football takes than I am on this show. So did we.
Wonder how that happened.
I mean, what?
I was really likable until
where
this place.
Until your brother showed up.
I
He's
like
George
that guy.
Harrison.
I
He's
like
a
How
Beatle.
much did you resent how the audience took to him?
We like
How they
them.
took to him. How you took to him.
Yeah.
You guys
audience-
were so nice.
I saw so many comments. Jeremy's crushing it today,
he
and
was
Jeremy's
great.
in the back just like, this is
Great.
took me 7 months to get approval
fed
from
him
this
all.
audience.
Do you know how good a show has to be in order for what I remember from that not being any of that, right? Because that was charming. You've got George Harrison being vastly more likable in costume than his brother is.
Thanks.
Like just net. Well, but has this been a lifelong affliction? Because
Yes.
while you're someone who's, I imagine, popular with all of your friends, I imagine he's probably been more popular.
He is funnier,
Cooler.
cooler, better looking.
More normal.
He was like my brother. My brother
Yeah.
was always those things.
Everybody likes him.
What does more normal mean?
I don't know about that one.
But in the middle of that, we really have let Greg Cody skate on this. Like his complete torpedoing.
Hello.
Torpedoing.
I talked to him at dinner about it last night with my family.
Is this like
Kicking my wife to buy in on it.
I'm trying to get inside his head a little bit. He talked to George, thinking that it was actually Jeremy Taché when it was Jeremy's brother Jason.
I'm telling you, what happened there was my dad didn't know he was the only one being fooled. So he kind of like thought you guys were all being fooled too. So he kind of just like, I'm going to lay out
I
here.
disagree. I believe the psychoanalysis I would do of your father is he's so self-involved that he doesn't care enough to notice whether it's Jeremy or someone else talking because it's just another voice getting in the way of when he has to talk. And so when Jeremy also popped up, he wasn't able to register everything that was happening there. And all we were doing was bullying an old man.
Part of it was, I've had some of these conversations lately. I think it was an older guy like, you think I have dementia, don't you? I don't. Yeah. I don't.
I know everything.
Yeah. No, I know what happened there. I'm not impressed because I'm not with it. Yeah. Like quick as a whip.
You can't fool me.
How-
So annoying.
Zaslow, when I talked about it beforehand with Zaslow, because I was worried about it, and Zaslow says to me, but it'll also be funny if he has no reaction.
Right.
But him having no reaction
It's
is the
infuriating.
worst of all possible
By
funnies
far the
that
worst.
could have been there.
I watched the social video we put out now and I get angry because I'm just like, that's the payoff.
Yeah.
We went
Look
through-
at this buildup that we had.
Would have been incredible. I'm not asking be Simon Cowell when a magician does a trick on stage, but give me something.
Here's the thing though that I've said to a number of people recently who've been asking me for show secrets behind the show. The people who get the show the way that they love the show the best, that I was trying to articulate gratitude for before Chris Cody sabotaged me earlier.
And I dip it.
Those people look at Greg Cody and say to me, marvel in the street. They're like, he still doesn't really know you guys are doing show around him.
Most genuine character we have.
He's still, so you have to eat some of the places where he betrays you because he forgets he's doing the show. He's just starring in his own play all the time. It's one of the weirdest characters.
The play where he's always the star in his mind.
It's one of the weirdest characters in the history of sports in this market, and it's why Zazzle has to eat it and say Greg Cody's a legend, a South Florida legend, unlike Chucklefuck.
It's the holiday season, and it is the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite, which means a lot of my favorite memories start the same way. I bring out a cornucopia of beautiful white Miller Lite cans, and I spread that holiday cheer. Miller Lite. Holiday season. You crack open a Miller Lite, you look around, you look at your friends, you look at your family. You take that first sip and you know you made the right call. Miller Lite just fits. It's taste that you know you can depend on. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients like malted barley, rich balanced toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. Almost festive in a way. And at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it lets you enjoy the season without weighing you down. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 50 years later. The best holiday beers are the ones you don't expect. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories at 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Susan Miller Degnan.
I'm going yes.
Over Michelle Kaufman.
I mean, she covers the Hurricanes.
Yeah, but Michelle Kaufman's covered everything in this market. But I believe Susan Miller Degnan does have more years than Michelle Kaufman at the Miami Herald. How about Linda? How about Linda?
Well, what is Dan doing?
How about Linda Robertson?
I think I know what he's doing.
No.
He's an ally.
What do you think I'm doing? How about David Dwork?
Dorky.
Now you're trolling.
No.
Trolling?
That's
David,
rude.
David Dwork, why? Trolling? That's your fault, Chris. I didn't ask you to say that. You're looking at me as if I put you in that spot.
I don't like this game.
I like it
Zaz
a lot.
loves this game.
I like it a lot.
Zaz can't get enough of this game. So just for the record, no legends. Sedano. Izzy got one, but Sedano didn't.
Even though he got one yesterday.
Maybe anything's better with this music.
Tommy Tighe got one. Among the local radio broadcasters, you didn't give one to Dave Van Horn.
No.
You gave it to Tommy Tighe, but not Dave Van Horn.
Dave Van Horn, Montreal legend.
Jonathan Grunfast.
No.
Isn't Dave Van Horn up and away?
That's
a legend.
Money Mark Eisenberg.
No.
This music's making me Dave Van Horn.
It was very sensual what Eddie George did there. We're going to do Juju's polls here in a second, and I was longing for Juju's commentary during Jemele, before Jemele, when we were talking about Shedeur Sanders earlier in the show. How about Jemele just putting it out there like, yep, not going to criticize Shedeur, going to sit this out, going to be an ally to my people. This is enough that we've got circulating in terms of electricity around Shedeur Sanders. Don't need to give you my honest opinion that whether I think it was the Raiders or not.
That was a super honest opinion, though. She confirmed it's a thing.
So, Juju, thank you for being on with us. We were also making fun of Perk for saying that Shedeur Sanders is the most powerful man in sports, not named since Obama. Since Obama. Where are you on all of that, Juju?
Yes, sir, man. Good to see y'all. Happy holidays. I just think it's important to remember that it's the delusional people on both sides that mess it up for everybody. You know what I mean? There's some delusional Sanders fans. There's some delusional Jets fans. There's some delusional Le Batard Show fans. And I think that as much as we love to listen to everyone, we can't at all times. And so I don't have too much of a criticism. I show my support to Shedeur at all times. But I'm respectable. I also understand that Dylan Gabriel has a family. Dylan Gabriel is primed for this competition. Dylan Gabriel did a great job in his college career and deserves the spot he has. We need more people just to talk sense into that, as well as cheer on our young brother. You feel me? Because we all he got at certain times, and he doesn't help himself sometimes by giving the comments after the game, like saying, "Oh man, it's been 1 week of practice, and you see it's up." Like, that's awesome, brother, as a big fan of his. But at the same time, those are the things that lead people to not being compassionate whenever he does do things. That arrogance that his dad has, he has some of that as well. You feel me? It's not all bad, though. You got to have that healthy dose of arrogance. But he doesn't help at times by saying some of that stuff.
Forgive my ignorance on this subject because I'm bad at numbers. Was Bernie Kosar number 12 in Cleveland, or was he number 9? Was he 12? He was 12,
I believe he was
wasn't he?
19.
19. Okay,
yeah.
so I'm bad at that.
And
So,
number 20 in college.
so you're wearing a Shador Sanders jersey.
Absolutely. You got to know, man. Look.
Who'd you think that was? Josh Gordon?
You got to know. Yes, sir. I'll do it one more time.
No, I thought it was Bernie Kosar.
Touche, you got me there. My bad.
If it had been 19.
I'm mailing it in, Dan.
In fact,
What do you want me to do?
I thought it was Steve Martin.
That'd be a good jersey to have. Did you think anything? What were your thoughts involving Jemele being on with us, and wherever it is that the Michelle Beadle conversation and the Kerry Champion conversation from last week? I didn't think we did a very good job on it.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, those sports media opinions and stuff, I think that as your friend, brother, I think that we sometimes should just stay out of that stuff. You feel me? Like, my opinion on it is, though, I think that once we have all these relationships that go on and people get up and down, I still think it's important for us to still wish each other well. I didn't like how Michelle Beadle said that she's preying on the downfall. I don't like that. No matter how much I dislike a person, I want my enemies to thrive so they don't think about me. Or it's just a thing that I've grown up with. I would never wish on nobody downfall.
Hold on. Let me put it on the poll. Do you wish your enemies to thrive? Because I don't believe that's a common opinion there. Do you wish your enemies to thrive eliminates just human pettiness from the equation?
Right. I think that's what separates me a lot of times from a lot of jokers out here. Like, I don't forgave every single person who's ever wronged me. It helps me in my day. So I think that seeing Beadle hold on to that, and then seeing Sister Carrie hop in with that, it's definitely stuff that we shouldn't be in that group chat. They should have texted each other that type of stuff. And I think especially when you're a co-host of Beadle or someone like that, we should stay out of those things. But at the same time, wishing each other well is still the goal. And when it comes to you, brother, like I say, Pat McAfee, Trump on McAfee, Stephen A stuff, I think it's important for you, or try to think of it this way. Invite these people on South Beach sessions. That's what South Beach sessions for. Invite them actually on and talk to the actual people about the stuff
45,
instead of being, you feel me?
SBS.
Chatty Cathy.
Let's go. 48.
I love the show. It's a great show.
50.
Right. It gets a bit chatty Cathy, especially whenever none of this ain't none of our business anyway. Especially, you know what I mean? So I think we should just stay out of folk business when it comes to the beefs in the turmoil.
The numbies do.
Those numbers, though.
Right, but we gotta invite them on though. Dan got a good relationship with Stephen A. I'm sure
anymore.
Dan can get
Thing of the past.
For now.
Listen to yesterday's
not
episode.
anymore.
Wait a minute. No, hold on a second. Let me clarify this. This will not be a thing of the past. He and I can argue privately and publicly. I just didn't want to do it at Thanksgiving. That's all. Like, I don't feel like doing it right now. Like, I don't have any problem arguing with him, especially because I know the politics of the day are ugly. People are taking sides, and not taking a side is taking a side now. So, I would like to talk to him publicly about this, but I also wish to do it privately before I do this publicly. I can say that.
Yeah. I would like to see you talk to Pat McAfee. You know what I mean? I want to see you talk to all the types that maybe agree with your opinions or disagree. I think that's healthy. Let's monetize as we realize, brother.
Damn.
So do you have a top 5 people in sports or black men in sports more powerful than Shador Sanders? Yes or no?
Right. With all that said, Kendrick Perkins is one of the delusional sides of the Shador fandom. Like, dare I say, salute to Kendrick Perkins, but you, sir, are out of your rabbit ass mind saying that Shador is the most powerful athlete or whatever. I made a top 5 list, man.
All right.
Top 5 black men in sports that are more powerful than Shador. OLI, Deion Sanders. I mean, come on, man. Prime time. Also, OLI, Stephen A. Smith. My boy got power, man. Number 5, Dwayne Wade.
Wow.
The brother has his own street.
Did you guys see, though, the quote that he had, Dwayne Wade had, that Michael Jordan is the best player that he's ever watched. LeBron James is the best player he's ever seen.
Okay.
Way to couch that one. I dig that. I like that.
Which one's the best player I ever looked at?
Number 4, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Will Chamberlain's the best player I ever heard of.
All right. Number 3, Steph Curry.
Over Michael?
He's got a movie
Right
coming out.
now in sports. Right now in sports.
Okay.
Because, and on top of that, salute to Steph Curry. My boy Steph Curry couldn't wait to get out of them Under Armour shoes, bro. He been on a generational tear, pulling up to each game in signature, Jordan signature. He put up in some D-Wades that D-Wade, I know he don't even got them. Like, Shatnosis, salute to Stephen Curry getting out of Under Armour. He played his first game in the pair of Nikes, Sabrina's, the other night. So, big free agent. Number 2, LeBron James.
I thought that was number 1.
Let's see what number 1 is. Chris looks with genuine curiosity after doing
I was just like, we're setting up for LeBron here,
after
number
doing
1.
a truly terrible job of having this show keep your attention today. You're like, who could number 1 be?
Number 1, of course, Norman Powell. Come on, man.
You didn't see that one
Give
coming,
me my
did ya?
fanfare.
Bravo, you didn't see it coming. I thought it was going to be Khalil Lair. Do you have for us a Thanksgiving-themed anything here? Because I know you're somebody who's grateful. I know you're someone who's thankful for our audience. So can you tell us if you have something Thanksgiving-themed this time of year?
Yes, sir. I am not mailing it in. I'm happy to be to work today. You feel me? And I'm so thankful for all of y'all, man. Like, every single one of y'all, I'm thankful for knowing y'all, having y'all in my life, as brief as it is or as long as it's been. You feel me? Zaslow, I'm happy to welcome you into the family. Been a great addition, man. And if you send right. If you send Zaslow some spiders today through this holiday weekend, at least do him the favor of subscribing to Zaslow 2.0 and send proof of that with your spider.
Okay.
What you think?
Thanks, playa.
Yeah, thanks, playa.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with how you do that. I don't know.
Play on for me. Play on for me. He's good.
It's a play on for me.
Play on for me.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, Zaz, we know the streets know Zaz a big player. I also had ESPN obligation, so I couldn't thank you personally, but I want to take this chance to thank you, brother. You told me before the whole world told me Steph Curry is not playing in this game against the Heat. You told me, and guess what I did? I went over on Brandon Pajemski.
There you
points.
go.
It was like eight points.
I
And
don't
then it
think
climbed
that's
up to
how- I don't
16.
think- Is that how we pronounce his name?
Pajemski, yeah,
I don't.
he's on.
You say so.
It's how we should pronounce it, but I don't think that's how we. I don't think that's how we pronounce that. Zaslow, you've broken 3 stories here recently. You had you have Kiffin to LSU. What
Yep.
did you have 6 weeks ago? What story did you have 6 weeks ago?
He didn't have shit. He got that from
mentioned
Mike.
the other
Get the hell out of here. I never
He got
shit.
Florida's next coach.
I break stories all
I
the
was
time.
standing right
Florida's
next to
next
him.
coach. Florida's.
I mentioned Jed Fish a long time ago on ESPN radio. Yes, okay. That looks like that could be a thing now. I can't even remember. I'm constantly breaking stories.
I would also like to add, though, praying on Barry Jackson's Twitter downfall, though. Sucker move.
I mean, I just liked that I wasn't the only one. It's not like I like that it happened to him in particular. It was just like, man.
Well,
you know.
Barry Jackson needs help. Somebody is summoning
Yes.
help on the
Joe
internet
Shad's
for
trying
him.
to get help for Barry
because
Jackson.
Zaslow got his account unhacked in 2.5 days, and
Yeah.
Barry Jackson. People need their Barry Jackson information. Barry Jackson, local legend.
Yeah.
Barry Jackson needs his look. He's an information guy for real.
Oh, it's going to kill him if this Miami football weekend comes and goes and he's
So
not
did
on
we.
X.
Somebody's got to help Barry Jackson
So
get
did
his
we.
account back
He's gotta
in
be
order.
so
He does not
frustrated.
have
I
the.
don't know. Check his socials. He seems to be doing fine.
So did we.
Living large and in charge.
You got a truck. You got a G-Wagon, though.
I think,
Good for you.
I think he's
know.
buying a house in Cozumel.
I bought a house of that Bitcoin too.
Juju, we interrupted you on your way to celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. I made a top 5 things that you better have if you invite me to Thanksgiving list.
Okay, that's good. Threatening. Nice. I like it. Better
Yes,
have
sir.
these.
You better have these if you be nice enough to invite me, and I'm not playing. Number 5, stuffing.
Do you think
It ain't
Zaz?
Thanksgiving.
Do you think Zaz is insane for not mixing his stuffing with anything? He's just either eating the stuffing or he's not eating the stuffing. He's not mixing it with the turkey.
I feel Zaz on that. I'm a section eater as well.
Yep.
Like when I go to fast food, I gotta eat all my fries first before I even think about touching that big old burger over there.
That's insane work. I
Yep.
eat everything in combination. I
Yes.
put a couple bites of the thing, couple
Yes.
bites of the fries,
Hey,
back and
fist
forth,
me,
back and
dude.
forth.
No.
This is
I
a
eat
theory
my
I've had.
burger and then I eat my fries.
Long-time theory
Psycho.
over here. The ADD to the OCD scale on eating. So the ADD, the further you are to that side, the more you're mixing everything up. You
Look,
get
I don't
you
know
get a
what those
little
letters
burrito
mean, but I'm
bowl.
gonna take it as disrespect.
I'm so glad you interrupted him.
Combination.
Thankful for you
hear
guys
yourself.
too.
Combination.
Yeah, it's good.
Midway
it's
through
a good
like,
theory.
through that
you guys
sentence,
just don't respect me.
you had to be thinking this isn't going
It's
well.
good.
There's the bit, right? Like the screaming
People
bit.
left the office.
Oh,
Do Elvis
fuck
again.
you, dude.
People
Do Elvis
left.
again. Do Elvis again.
Stavi's good.
Thank
on
you very
Pardon
much.
My take.
Number 4, collard greens. We had to end. I hate that I still have a list after that.
No, it's good. No, it's good. Collard green. Come on. Collard.
No, it's good. Keep talking about the collard greens.
Collard
Shut up,
greens.
man.
Well, I don't like the
No
way
one
you
likes
said
you.
that.
No
I don't
one
like the way
likes
you said that.
stop.
Whoa.
I don't like the way you
Let's
said
bring
collard
his
greens.
brother back in after
Yeah.
the holidays.
Oh, that guy was awesome.
I knew that was where
Let's
this was
bring
going to
in
end.
George Harrison.
That was a hard
As
D on
George
collard.
Harrison. I'd like that character around here. Number 3.
Mac and cheese.
I did put a collar on it. I put the greens in a collar.
Jeremy put it with a hard D. I didn't
That
like
was
that.
a hard D.
Oh, it was me.
Number 2.
Number 2, fried turkey. It's the staple.
I will
I
tell you
leave it.
guys publicly here, the cooking challenge, we were thinking of rigging a contest with Greg Cody where someone beat him with a turkey sandwich on his fried turkey, but we didn't. We have not rigged any of the contests so far, but Chuck Todd wants to compete with Greg Cody
that's good.
on turkey.
That would have been my turkey sandwich that Chris Cody calls sad off the air. Let's just make clear that's off air.
Watch what happens. Thank you.
Number 1, you better have a TV with some football on it.
Yes.
Ah.
More football
Now we're
coming.
talking. Big game.
Yes.
Bengals Ravens after nightcap.
Chiefs
Woo,
Cowboys.
woo.
Chiefs Cowboys.
I want everyone to have a sexy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Biden?
No, it's not.
It was your
sounded like
Biden.
That's not
It
Biden at
sounded
all.
like
It was.
That was my sexual voice.
No, it was Biden. It was an 80-year-old man crawling into the
Come on.
into the bedroom
We got to come together.
with the Dolphins emblem on his behind. Yes.
What are we doing?
Juju, do you want to update some polls? I don't know. Do you want the central music?
Update.
Sure, let's do it. We should make a Christmas album with sensual Biden. I think we just made $1 million.
Sure. Yeah. Update. You got it.
It's,
Now I'm going to be a Roomba.
Reach down there and grab my scran.
Why do we?
it's today the most mailing it in day of the entire calendar year. 88% of the audience says, yes, it
We'll
is.
circle
love
back
this.
during
Juju.
March Madness.
Work the music, Juju. I'm loving this.
Yes.
Are you
Does
hard
it
again?
rain?
Maybe.
Does it rain spiders in Australia? 88% of the audience says, yes, it does. Are there crocodiles in the toilets in Australia?
I'm don't like this sensual poll reading.
87% of the audience says yes.
I was chastised. Vindication for me.
Has Brandon Cooks had a remarkable career? 67% of the audience says no, he has not.
It's the amount of teams.
Fast for all of them.
It's the amount of teams. That's why it's remarkable.
Last poll. Should Bam Adebayo's statue be of him doing a dribble handoff?
Juju, we found the way we're doing the polls, okay, from now on. Just
I need
so
the
that
result.
you know.
I need the result.
89% of the audience says yes, it should be.
Wow.
And those are your polls.
Thank you, Juju.
Happy holidays.
Here, you take it.